What is up, jabronis? JJ back here, this time with Snyder and Uncle T. Some would say this is like the creme de la creme. The other two are kind of like fill-ins. Mangone and Rob won't be visiting us on this show today. Well, maybe Mangone might pop in, possibly. But it's exciting to do a show. Uncle T makes his triumphant return, and it couldn't be in a better format, too. No more bullshit. It's just you and Snyder. Give you the ability to really, hone in on the golf course and the betting action. Of course, all I do is sniff the bullshit when I smell it. However, you two, for the most part, I can rely on for quality content. This is the Open, or as some call it, the British Open. Is that right, Snyder?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, cool. So we're so far so good there. St. George's Golf Course. Snyder can go through the ins and outs of the course. And I guess we could just kind of go into that in a short moment. But as always, we'll go through briefly DFS folks that you guys like. And then, of course, who you like as long shots, who you think wins the tournament, top 20s, and then matchups. And then we will call it a wrap because the DFS show starts at 8:30. And obviously, this is a big tournament. Not a whole lot going on in the sports world anyway. Of course, the All-Star game, if you're into that. But tomorrow's going to be a relatively dry day anyway in sports. Snyder, why don't you talk a little bit about this course, how it relates to last week's watered-down course, and maybe actually last few weeks' watered-down courses. I see a lot of big names here as expected. How does this course play out?
Yeah, we're back to links golf after a year break. This course is going to play way different than normal, like American courses, as there isn't going to be any trees here. It's all going to be like this course has undulated fairways, undulated greens. You're not going to find a flat spot on this whole property. I mean, you're going to have to hit fairways. You're going to have to be great around the greens here. I mean, if you get caught in one of these pop bunkers, you may be hitting it backwards just to get out of that son of a bitch. But, I mean, Uncle T could probably talk a little bit more about it. But, yeah, you need to be a good wind player the winds can come up out of nowhere here. I mean, all the players will go off of one tee instead of split tees like they do on the PGA. So, I mean, there'll be 7-8 hour gap between some of these tee times, and there could be some big wave advantages at times if those winds come up.
Question with that and how it plays. Does this ever go under the lights, or does this have to finish before? So they must be starting at the ass crack of dawn, like literal ass crack of dawn.
Yeah, they're 6 hours ahead of us, JJ. So we won't generally have a ton of issue with that. Obviously, it's 6 over there. 6 hours earlier over there. But they generally, Snyder, I can't remember a time where they've even gone into a Monday for an Open. So I don't think that'll be an issue.
Awesome. So I guess we could just slide right into DFS, folks. Snyder, one or two guys you like, maybe one of the higher price guys, one of the lower price guys that you like for this slate on DraftKings?
Yeah, I think the higher price guys we talked about a bunch. I'm going to go to a guy like right here in that mid 8K range that I like, Scotty Scheffler. I mean, this is it's going to be his second Euro event. He played last week at the Scottish Open. Looked pretty good. He had a couple good rounds there. I mean, I really like how his game sets up for links golf. I mean, he's from Texas. He's used to playing in these windy conditions. I mean, he's been really good in these major events, too. I mean, he's got a young career, but he's already had 3 top 10s in his last 5 majors, and the other 2 were still in the top 20. I mean, he's been playing great in these big-time events. So I like him in that range. And like a guy, if you want to look down, I mean, Burns will obviously be the most popular guy down there low, but I like a Kevin Kisner. He's just under 7K, and he enters off back-to-back top 10s. I mean, I think this is like the only major he has a chance at really winning at because he doesn't really fare well in those longer type courses and tougher. I mean, this is a little shorter. It's right up his alley. It's more of like a short game. He's got great up and down. I mean, he did finish second at the 2018 Open, so I like his upside for his price tag.
Awesome. Uncle T, who do we like for DFS?
Yeah, first off, I messaged Mangone a few minutes ago, and I'm waiting for his response. In not so certain terms, I asked him where the F he is. So we'll see if Mangone responds. Maybe he makes a cameo on the show here. But no, for me, I'm going to stay in the 8K range to start like Snyder did, but I'm going to go a little above him to Patrick Reed. He's a guy that, again, let's call it like it is. I probably play him more than most. But I think people just don't like clicking his name. And this week, I think he comes in $8,800, and I think he's probably $600 cheaper than I thought he would be. I mean, I could easily see like him and Louis Oosthuizen at 9,300 kind of flip-flopped in price, and I don't think anyone would have, questioned it. So Reed's got an elite short game. He's great around the greens. He's creative. And he's a big game hunter. So I like Patrick Reed at $8,800. A couple guys as we go down, one of the more mispriced guys in addition to Burns in the entire field is Daniel Berger at 7,400. JJ, you remember last week at the John Deere, he was the highest priced guy, and clearly a watered down field. But again, he's not necessarily watered down. He's all the way down, like 7,400. He's getting no respect here. And again, he hasn't had, hardly any success over at the Open. Hasn't played bet, I think, one time. But still a value at $7,400. I'm seeing him about 11% ownership. I have some interest there. And I'm going to give you one more below 7K. Lucas Herbert, $6,800. Here's a guy that probably most guys in the States don't know about. I know Snyder knows about him. He won in Ireland 2 weeks ago and finished fourth at the Scottish in a pretty solid field last week. So those are three kind of guys that you on for DFS purposes.
Awesome. Love it. And I will say, maybe I'm giving away too much information for Mangone, but there are some rumors spiraling that whatever site he uses for his projections might be RPS, might not be. Those are not uploaded in time for him to do this video on Tuesday. So that's been why he's been missing it. So maybe to accommodate Mango, maybe if we move the show to Wednesday, I'd assume we'll get 100%, availability from Mango. But time will tell. Maybe he's still playing kickball. Maybe I picture him as like a batting like 12th in kickball. I mean, is it just me? I mean, I don't know. He calls himself a good kickball player, but
he's definitely a guy that probably out of the 12-man team, he probably bats 12s. He probably says he's the speed guy that turns the lineup around. You know what I mean, JJ? He turns the lineup around for the top
he
of the order.
convinces himself. He probably wears like one of those arm sleeves for kickball. He's probably like he's definitely like the catcher, and like he figures like it's a really important position. Meanwhile, there's never any plays at the plate in kickball. But hey, look, I don't judge. To each his own. Real quick, we could speed along here a bit. Ever since I learned this cool feature about how I control Holden on the Sunday MLB shows by the comments. So Fran's asking any love for Noren top 20, and I know we haven't gone there yet, but Snyder UncleT, anything you like there for that price?
Well, if you want to transition to top 20, JJ, I'm not sure what listing you got, as far as our rotation of normal, topics to talk about. But if you wanted to go there, and I'll start with the top 20s, he's dead at the top of my list. I've got Noren as one of my top 20s. I have him at plus 275. Again, I don't have access to FanDuel Sportsbook. I only have access to looking at DK Sportsbook. So I know Schneider in the past has said the prices are a lot better on FanDuel. So I do like Alex Noren. Another one I like is Kevin Kisner as a top 20, plus 275. And then a little bit longer, I know, JJ, we only give one, but heck, there's only three of us on the show tonight. Lucas Herbert that I mentioned a moment ago, he's plus 550 to top 20. Now, again, it's a clearly loaded field. And he's, he's stepping it up in competition as far as competing with this group this year or this weekend. But boy, plus 550 for a guy that's been in that kind of form, I'll take a shot at a top 20 with Lucas Herbert plus 550. Awesome.
And those are all pretty fat lines. I mean, even Noren and Kisner were decent odds from what I saw as well, plus at least over 200. Snyder, top 20s. What do you think?
Yeah, I also like Alex Noren there at that price. I mean, he's just been real solid. I mean, he's got great open history as well. He's made his last 5 cuts and nos. I mean, he's gained around the green in 7 of his last 8 events. So I definitely like him. I'm on Kevin Kisner like UncleT, but like I said, at FanDuel, you can get a plus 360 with a Kiz there. And another guy, I mean, if you're looking, you can get DraftKings is offering Brooks Koepka at minus 110 that top 20.
Wow.
So that's pretty crazy odds there. I mean, definitely like that.
You got the name right there, Snyder, and it almost sounded like a troll job. Like
yeah, I thought about saying Kopecky, and then I was like,
Look who it is in chat, JJ and Schneider. Big Joey work in chat.
Yeah, Joseph asking about love for some shrimp dicks. Now, I'll tell you this. I don't know what he's referencing. Maybe you guys do. But I'll take that as a no. I'll take it as a no. Okay, so we could slide right into the long shots. Joey, feel free to elaborate on this. Oh, look at that picture of Joey, though, Uncle T.
Oh, that's nice.
Look at him, like he just got out of the sun.
That's corporate Joey work right there. That is corporate Joey work.
The tie looks like he just got out of a tanning booth. All right, so we could slide over to long shots. I know we kind of did this show a little bit out of the order we typically go, but we move with the flow, and without Mangone here, there's no rules. So long shots outrights, guys bigger than we'll call 45, 50 to 1. Who do you like that you think has value to win this? Obviously, it's a major, so from what I've seen in these tournaments, it's not often that one of your bigger guys doesn't win one of these. But as far as value goes, who do you guys like for value in that 45, 50 or greater to 1 area?
Yeah, this major has actually had the longest odds of like the average winner has actually been I think the average winning over the last like 10 years has been like 70 to 1 or something, but there's been a couple big long shots win over that time. But I'm going to be looking at my boy Scotty Scheffler again there. He's at 45 to 1 odds. Hasn't won a tournament, but I feel like he's got the game to just make a big splash, and when he does, it could be like at one of these majors. I mean, he's always consistently been there at the top of the leaderboard, like in contention come Sunday at a lot of these majors. I mean, it just comes down to like, I think he can make the plays come down to the end. I mean, he's good in the wind and definitely like that. I think Brooks Koepka is going to win the tournament though. He's at 18 to 1. That's my favorite bet to win of the week. I mean,
Snyder, that would be in the outright section.
Correct.
Yeah, it's all right. You know, Snyder wants
JJ, I got to give him shit. Mangone's not here. We needed 50 or better, and he gives an 18 to 1 and a 45 to 1. Come on, Snyder.
I mean, nothing was worse than Gomes, though, right? I mean, like who's going to win the tournament? John Rahm at 7 to 1, and then was like pounding his chest when he won. Easiest money ever won. Like, dude needed like a tie break to win it. All right, Uncle T, who do you like for long shots?
Yeah, I love the Scheffler call, Snyder, for the record. And I did have him earmarked. There's a lot of guys in the 35 to 45 or 50 to 1 range that I'm going to have some exposure to. But if you're looking at longer odds, JJ, for purposes of the show, Jason Day at 70 to 1. Now, I know on the surface, Jason Day may not feel like a big play or a good play, I should say, in this range. But he's been playing a lot better, and he tends to show up at some of these venues. He's played well in the past over at the Open Championship. 70 to 1 for a guy that's coming in off a T14, a T10. He's gaining a little bit of confidence. It's a pretty good quality golfer for 70 to 1, in my opinion. So I do like him, and I'll give you one more at 70 to 1 too. That's getting some traction overseas is Robert McIntyre. He's a guy that's played a little bit in the States in the major championships over here, so people have seen him a little bit. He mainly plays on the Euro Tour. This guy's got game for sure, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised if Robert McIntyre was in the in the hunt for top 10 or top 15 on Sunday with maybe a chance to win.
I love that. Mark this as the first time on this show. We've only sample size fairly small. It's only been about maybe 14 or 15 of these that Uncle T gave out an outright or a long shot that doesn't even have odds on DraftKings. You can only bet him to make the top. Is that 10? Top 5.
Which one, AJ?
Robert McIntyre.
I should have him to win here. Let's see.
Love to see it. So it'll pay 10 to 1 if he cracks top 5. But they don't even have odds for him to win. They're a little scared to post numbers for him.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I'll say is, so Fran's asking about Matt Jones, 180 to 1. I'll tell you this on DK. 250 to 1. Right. So any comments here on Jones, Snyder, or Uncle T?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind like a sprinkle of him. I mean, he plays well in the wind. He's been solid around the green here recently. He's also made like 3 of his last 4 open cuts, so I think he'll make the cut. And I mean, he's got a chance to. I mean, it's definitely a long shot, but don't mind it.
Okay, awesome. Now. Who wins this tournament? Snyder already gave you a little bit of a sneak peek on who he thinks that is, but maybe go into a little bit of more reason for him. Brooks Koepka or Koepka, as the cool kids pronounce it. No, but Koepka should obviously it's a major, always going to be live in these. But what makes you more inclined for him I see him as the third biggest favorite here. I'm sure penning your book, it could be anywhere in the top 5. 16-1. What makes you think specifically him for this tournament, Snyder?
Yeah, not many people actually know, but he actually headed overseas like right after college. He graduated, went and started out overseas, got his golf game going. I mean, it's a major championship, so anytime it's a major championship, you have to look at Brooks Koepka. I mean, he's got a T7 or better in 4 of his last 5, and that one that he didn't was the Masters, and he probably shouldn't even been playing in that. He couldn't even walk. But, I mean, since 2016, he's 84 under par in majors. The next closest guy, minus 21. And he says that he feels more comfortable being over here this year than in the past. He's more focused, and he's like come off of like a U.S. Open or a PGA win, he said, when he typically came over here. And he's like, I wasn't in the best of mindset, and I may have partied a little too much before I got over here. So he says he's in a way better mindset this week. So I like where he's at here.
Awesome. Uncle T, what do you think? Who wins this tournament?
Yeah, like I said, I really like Patty Reed. I've got an outright on him as far as value bet at 35-1. But my pick to win is I love the Brooks Koepka call. Snyder and I talked offline earlier in DMs, and I do like Brooks Koepka a lot this week. I'll have exposure to him. Jordan Spieth's going to be my pick. I know some aren't as high on Jordan Spieth this week, but you want to talk about a guy, in my opinion, that checks quite a few boxes. If he can hit the ball straight, which I know at times his driver does let him down, and I know that's a big thing here. But his iron play and his creativity and his putting, it just means a lot, because he can get hot with that flat stick. Again, he's creative around the greens. He's coming in form. He's got 5 straight top 30 finishes. He's got 3 straight top 20 I shouldn't say British Open. JJ wouldn't let me say that. Open championship. Finishes. So I think just Jordan Spieth. I also like Justin Thomas a little bit DFS wise, but I'm going to go with for my official play, Jordan Spieth.
Awesome. And Bobby, while he's not on the show, he likes Rahm to win it at 7-1. Yeah, I mean, what else? I mean, what else would we expect? All right, so we could slide over to matchups. Now, as you guys know, we just like to often give every book offers different matchups. So just kind of guys you're targeting in matchups, and don't be afraid to continue to fire on the same names you've been mentioning. But as far as matchup targeting goes, and maybe a matchup fade, Snyder, who's the guy you're really looking to target in, we'll call it neutral matchups, and a guy you'd be looking to fade in neutral matchups?
Yeah, I'd be looking to target like someone like Brooks or Scheffler or something. I think they're going to be matched up well. I like where they're at. But a matchup I like, I'm going to be looking to fade Zalatoris, and there's a matchup with Alex Noren's matched up against Zalatoris. It's minus 103 on DraftKings. I like Noren for what I had said before. I mean, this will be Zalatoris' first time coming overseas, I believe, and the around the green game and the short game really bothers me with him. I mean, it's just been really bad coming in, and he had been like a really good approach player, but he's actually lost strokes in approach his two of his last 3 events, and I really think he's just coming in bad form. I don't even think he's going to make the cut or sniff the cut line here.
Awesome. And Uncle T, who do you like for target matchups and fades?
Yeah, targeting. I agree with the Koepka call as far as targeting matchups with Koepka. Also, Patrick Reed, I think, will have a couple favorable matchups that I saw on DK Sportsbook. So I would target those 2. My key fades this week will be Bryson DeChambeau and Dustin Johnson. I'm just, I know Dustin is one that over the last, 2 months, RPS has done a great job of not playing during this, kind of downslide. And, for him, for sure, he regains number 1 last week and he didn't even play. Rahm finishes 7th at the Scottish. That shows you how, screwed up the golf rating system is as far as rankings. He goes back into number 1, but he just hasn't shown the form. So for until he can, again, show that he's a top, ranked golfer, I'm going to fade Koepka, or I'm going to fade DJ, and I'm going to fade Bryson this week. Bryson is a little tricky though, because you guys know I'm a Bryson guy, and the reason I say tricky is from a DFS standpoint, he's going to come in probably 7 or 8% ownership. So on the first look pod yesterday, we talked about that while it doesn't feel like a course fit for Bryson, he's got a lot of on the course with the new caddy and stuff kind of distraction. he could troll us all and play well this week, especially me. But I'm going to fade him and DJ.
Awesome. I have a question for you guys as well. But before I'll do it, a friend's got another question about a matchup. Padraig Harrington, that's a new name for me, versus Kuchar. So who, Uncle T, any thoughts here?
Yeah, I'll take that one. Yeah, it's Padraig Harrington, JJ. I'll get, Padraig or Patty Harrington.
Padraig, depending the part of the world you're from.
Yeah, I'll give you a little nugget, too. You got Shane Lowry defending this week. He won 2 years ago at Royal Portrush, wasn't it, Snyder? I think Royal Portrush. They didn't have the Open last year. The last guy to go back-to-back at the Open, if I'm not mistaken, was Patty Harrington. So, interesting little nugget there, JJ. I appreciate you acknowledging that little nugget there.
I could acknowledge it. Snyder's in the clouds, but I could acknowledge it.
But as far as the matchup, that's an interesting one, Fran, because Harrington's actually been playing pretty well. Kuchar hasn't played hardly at all the last 4, 5, 6 weeks, but does have good course history as far as the rotation of the courses over at the Open the last several years. So I probably would look at Harrington in that matchup.
Awesome. I had a question for both of you. It might be Snyder more tailed towards what's the winning score looking like at this course? Is this going to play real tough? Is this you looking at a guy that's going to be in big double digits? What's under par here that normally wins it?
Yeah, I think it's going to play pretty tough this week, especially if that wind comes up. I'm looking for my target range is anywhere from -7 to -9 is where I think the winning score will be at. That wind, it looks like the gusts are going to be up over 20 miles an hour, and there's no protection here from the wind. I mean, and it's playing really firm, and there's people hitting drives that are hitting the fairway and rolling right into the rough. I mean, you're just at the mercy of this course almost at times.
See. Okay, fair enough. Our boy Matty Ice, Noren over Poulter, Bucko 5. Seems like you guys have been pro Noren for this.
I kind of like both those guys. So.
Yeah, just getting ready to say same thing, Snyder. That we both love Noren, but maybe target him against a different guy. I hate to target Poltz against or in these types of matchups on link style golf courses. So I'd probably pass on that one.
Okay, and then I guess as far as final notes, because we've gone through it all, DFS, top 20s, matchups, long shots, and then outrights, who wins. Maybe some final notes, if any, Snyder, for this tournament. Maybe for even a novice like myself to know about this venue or something. Just some final notes on the Open.
Yeah, it should be a good event. I mean, I love this event. You can wake up in the morning and you got golf on pretty much all through the day and through the afternoon, depending on where you're living. I got a fun little bet here. I mean, to make the cut parlay. Just something fun.
Fire it away.
Yeah, Harris English, Fitzpatrick, Scheffler, and Kisner all to make the cut at plus 239. And they're taking a top 70 in ties this week, so it's going to be a little easier to make the cut than it normally is for a T65 a PGA event.
You said that was plus 289?
Plus 239.
239. Okay. Yeah, I mess with it. All right, Uncle T, that's a tough act to follow. Any final notes? Final notes for the Open?
Yeah. Did I give my matchup?
You gave your target matchups in Koepka and Reed.
Oh, I didn't give my actual matchups. Can I give an actual matchup?
Of course.
I actually have it here. Yeah, I've got Stuart Sink minus 120 over Lucas Glover, who won last week. So a couple of things in with this. I think it's, in matchups, I try not to target anything more than, level or minus 110, 120. This one fits the bill for me at 120. Sink has had a breakout or resurgence of his career this year, playing really well. And he goes back to, again, link style golf, which he is very, very comfortable with. Glover, he just won at the John Deere on Sunday. He's all happy, right? He's got to travel, over to the Open. So I just think there's a little bit of a letdown for Glover this week. So I like Stuart Sink minus 120 over Lucas Glover. As far as final comments, we've got a lot going on. We got this show coming up next. We got the Strokes Gained show. Snyder's filling in for me with Hoop and AP tonight. And then tomorrow we'll have the premium show with myself, Big T, and JSU. But I think they're giving out, Snyder, are you guys giving out 2 or 3 $100 Millie Maker tickets?
I believe we're giving out at least 2 to current members, and I believe we're giving some to like new members as well.
Okay.
And we got that big ticket going away tomorrow. I mean, you can talk more about that. It'll be on your show, I believe.
Yeah, I think JJ, have you heard about that? The Millie Maker
I did the 45 hundo.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Oh yeah, super cool.
So, yeah, but no, just a fun week coming up. We've got a lot of coverage. All of us just love golf. I know JJ, we're getting you to where you're going to start building some teams here soon and winning some money with us. But you get to get up early in the morning, watch a lot of golf, and then still have time like hoop and go out and cut your grass in the afternoon on the weekend. And that's the good part about this tournament. It's over at like 1:00 Eastern, so you got still all day to kind of get your stuff done. So
awesome, love to hear it. I'm going to catch up on just a few things before we go. Snyder, Bryson, or Morikawa?
Neither this week. I'm not going to be playing either one. I'm definitely not playing Bryson. And Morikawa, I watched him play last week, and I wanted to see how he played on these like link-style golf courses, since it's the first time he's ever been overseas and playing in this. He didn't really. I mean, he had some flashes of good stuff. I mean, he made some birdies, but he also got in trouble. I think this course is going to play much tougher. And he also said something about how he wasn't able to get good contact on his irons with how the fairways and the grass was here. He said it was much different than what he's used to, so that kind of worries me as well.
Awesome. And then so for Fran's question on any first round matchups, is it safe to say that anybody that you guys like to target in your matchups that you said before would be people you would be looking? I know there's a bunch of 3-balls in first round matchups in groups. But is
like first round, I would like to target like AM golfers in the first 2 rounds, usually like guys going out first, because the course is going to be in much better condition. It doesn't have that much wear on it. The greens are going to be a little softer, more attackable. So that's how I usually like to attack that. Awesome.
And then our guy B-Rad, always appreciated. Always appreciate you consistently watching these and commenting. Much love, B-Rad. And that's for West Coast. Where's Lisa Ann at? I mean, you'd have to ask Holden that question. But no, guys, thank you so much for watching. Obviously, pending the time you watch. Show tonight, 8:30, right, guys, on the Run Pure Sports DFS, Run Pure Sports channel YouTube. So go ahead, just search Run Pure Sports. If you're not already following them already, you should be, or subscribing to them, you should be. And they're even hung off the main page here on Run Pure Bets. So head over there for some cool DFS content. They also talk bets as well. Another show tomorrow as well. Uncle T, what time is that show tomorrow?
I think it starts at 9 p.m. Eastern, and that one, pretty good chance that one goes all the way up until the first T-ball goes, I think. Snyder, does it go off at 1 a.m., the first tee time, or do you know?
It's either 1 a.m. or 12:30 a.m. I mean, it's right around that time frame. So, those Wednesday night shows have gone. I mean, we'll get everybody in there sometimes and go straight to the members, like members only, and –
yeah, we usually get after it with JSU and Big T. JJ, real quick before we go off, Mangone finally responded, and he said, yeah, sorry, the time change messed me up, and I can't jump on, sadly. He had to throw in the sadly part to make us feel a little better.
Sadly, as if he's got people all around him playing the tiny violins. I mean, his life is so complicated. I don't think anybody understands Mangone's life. It's severely complicated.
Yep.
All right, no, but as always, thanks, Uncle T. Snyder, for hopping in. Mango and Bobby will catch you next week. Guys, again, thank you for watching. Be sure to head over to Run Pure Sports for all the DFS content relative to this tournament. It is a light week in gambling, but obviously things will pick up towards the end. As Uncle T is saying, thumbs up. There's been enough of you watching. Please like the video if you haven't already. Of course, if you do have carpal tunnel, though, it's fine. We understand. You don't have to like the video. But again, thank you as always for watching, folks. Gamble responsibly. Stay safe. And as always, run pure. We'll see you guys next week.